Box 512, New York, 46, New York. And for one more look at the items in the showcase, join us again next week when The Price is Right will be brought to you by Lever Brothers. We'll see you then, or for that matter, tomorrow morning on our daytime Price is Right show over this same station. Thank you ever so much for being with us. Have a good night, and we'll see you again next week. Bye, everybody. So long.
The Price is Right has been brought to you by Spidell. Look for Spidell's American Jet. The dynamic new watch band for the jet age male at fine jewelers everywhere. Transportation for tonight's guest was arranged by American Airlines, American choice of experienced travelers everywhere, and famous for the Mercury, luxury leader in the world of flight. Merchandise on The Price is Right is delivered by Allied Van Lines, world's #1 specialist in local and long-distance moving. Gowns by Harvey Barron. The Price is Right is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in association with the NBC Television Network. This is Don Pardo speaking.
This is Milton Berle. Stay tuned now for the Kraft Music Hall in color, next over most of these same NBC stations.
You're welcome to try your luck.
See Bat Masterson starring Gene Barry premiere tonight on the NBC Television Network.
Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me. And the gold...
This is Ken Carpenter. A dozen years ago, on May 9th, 1946, Bing Crosby closed the doors of the Kraft Music Hall, radio's all-time favorite variety program. Tonight, 12 years later, the doors of the Kraft Music Hall open on television in living color under the management of its new star, Mr. Milton Berle.
Dear boy, Bing asked me to give you the keys to the hall.
Well, where's Bing?
He's home watching The Millionaire.
The show?
No, the baby. Milt, I know it's your first show, and I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you very much.
I know it's your new medium for you and everything, and I just want you to go right ahead and... I want you to do it on your own. I know it's a challenge. Good luck, Milt.
That was Bob Hope, of whom John Foster Dulles once said, "Are you on this plane again, too?"
This is Ed Hurley speaking for Kraft, a division of National Dairy Products Corporation. Kraft for good food and good food ideas. Here we have captured sweet, delicious flavor in new Sweet Chilled Parquet. Sweet Chilled Parquet is a wonderful improvement in margarine flavor. And you get flattering Powers Model nylons worth $1.65 free for 10 Parquet red end flaps. You'll find all the details right on the package. So get Parquet at your grocer soon. And learn how to get glamorous Powers Model nylons free by using Parquet, the Sweet Chilled margarine from Kraft.
Milton Berle, returning from the periphery of oblivion to star in the Kraft Music Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, our star, Mr. Milton Berle.
heard so much applause since I announced I was quitting. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what I'm so excited about your applause. After all, you had 2 years to rehearse. But it is... before I came on the stage tonight, I was very, very happy because General Sarnoff, he sent me a very lovely wire. He said, "I'm sorry I can't see your show tonight. My set's out of order." But we have something new tonight. It's a sort of an innovation on television. This is the first network paid TV show. So everybody owes me $1. I can't tell you how happy I am to be back. I can't tell you now. I can tell you in a half hour, but I can't tell you now. I guess you've all been wondering what I was doing while I was off the air. I was overseas entertaining the boys, Hope's Riders. And another thing, while I was off, I was spending a lot of time watching all the great comedy shows on television. Maverick, Gunsmoke, Tombstone Territory. I don't know, they're funny to me. But this, I predict, ladies and gentlemen, that this season will be one of the greatest seasons for comedians. That's what I predict, but don't go by me, because 10 years ago I predicted Zsa Zsa Gabor would be an evangelist. But this, what do the rest of you think of it? But this is what, the way I feel. I feel that the comics have really they're coming back this year. We have Sid Caesar, Gary Moore, Ed Wynn, Harvey Keck. And Harvey Keck, you don't remember him? You're kidding. See how soon you're forgotten in show business? Harvey Keck, he's the guy that spins Loretta Young through the door. And Jackie Gleason, he prepared for his return. He lost 150 pounds, and the 150 pounds has a show of its own. It's called Fat Masterson, and I want to... Hope? But no, I shouldn't do that, because this year I'm doing what we call adult comedy. Adult comedy. That means if you don't get laughs, you just keep going. Right into the dress business. But this is... Oh, before that reminds me, I have an announcement that I would like to make that's left over from one of my old television shows. I don't need them. I use them for reading and fighting. I'd like to read the announcements, and I know that the Kraft people won't object to me paying a little loyalty to an old sponsor. I'd like to read it. Folks, I'd like you to go out and buy a brand new 1949 Buick. And TV, while I was off, TV has made many, many strides. Now, you take color sets. Please, RCA is loaded with them. I myself, I have a lifetime contract with NBC, but I'm a little worried. They may go before I do. I mean, television has affected the entire nation. I really mean that. I mean, even the TV commercials, it has done terrible things. I really mean this, because I read in the paper, we're out in Cleveland, a woman had a little 8-year-old son. He wasn't fit. She took him to a psychiatrist. She said, "Doctor, you got to do something for my boy, because during the Lysol commercial, he roots for the germs." I mean, television has affected even Hollywood. It's in the conversation out here in Hollywood. I was at Dean Martin's house the other night at a party. He was in good spirits. And, he was in good spirits. Oh. And while I was at the party, a starlet, I show you how television got in a conversation. A starlet came over to me and she said, "Mr. Berle, I'd like you to meet my new husband. I know he isn't perfect, but he's not bad for a summer replacement." But these things that happened while I was off television, while I was off, the satellite program got underway. You know, people with the flying saucers and little green men coming from outer space. Personally, I don't believe there are any men or people from outer space, because as far as I'm concerned, if they haven't taken a bow in the Ed Sullivan audience, they don't exist. People from outer space. It's ridiculous. I say Jane Mansfield is one of us. But we have a lot of shows planned that's coming up for this coming year, which I'm sure you enjoy. Next month, we have a terrific show lined up for you. Elsa Maxwell doing a musical version of Lolita. And following that will be the fastest man in the world, Herb Elliott, the Australian miler. He's going to race a bufferin. The biggest show that we intend to have will be Alastair Cook, who will lecture on the subject, Is There Really a Dick Clark? And we may, it's not definite, we may, but for a full 90 minutes, allow the audience to look at Desi Arnaz's money. We promise you a lot of things in weeks to come. We promise you Marlon Brando, Kim Novak, Gary Cooper, James Mason, and many, many other stars will be home watching. I don't know about you folks, but I'm looking forward to a wonderful season because there's just one place for me, believe me, and that's near you. It's wonderful. It's really great once again to be so close and so near you. And you can make my life worthwhile if I can give you just one smile. I need you all, and I love to be near you. Surprised they haven't canceled me yet. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, but I believe that all that applause is not just for me alone. Most of it goes to the very wonderful music that's backing me up. And I'd like you to meet the notable that conducts the band, a very wonderful musician, conductor, arranger, and very fine maestro, Mr. Billy May, ladies and gentlemen. Billy May. I want you to know that a lot of fine and distinguished musicians were considered for your job, but, you know, men like, Alfred Newman, Andre Kostelanetz, Leonard Bernstein.
Well, that's a great compliment, Mr. Berle. Why did you select me?
I liked your ad in the Yellow Pages. Well, he was the only one open all night. That was... But on this show, Billy, we'll have to play, different types of music, you know what I mean? Sort of the classics, you know what I mean? And, the old masters. Incidentally, what does your opinion say of Beethoven?
Crazy.
I thought he was deaf. I didn't know that. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's hear the great Billy May sound as he provides the accompaniment, ladies and gentlemen, for a great new discovery. A young man who's making his television debut tonight. Will you get ready to accompany him? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure now to introduce a young man that I'm sure that you're going to enjoy just as much as we have. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, young Tony Roberts singing "You Make Me Feel So Young." It should happen to me.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel so spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I am such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I want to go play hide and seek. I want to go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. 'Cause you and I are just like a couple of tots going across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today. 'Cause you make me feel so young. So young, you make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel what I do today. 'Cause you make me feel, ooh, I know it's real. You make me feel so young.
Say, love you. I'm going to tell you, Tony, how would you like to come back again next week, huh?
Oh, next week, Mr. Berle, I'm getting married.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
See you in 2 weeks. So long, Tony Roberts. Thank you very, very much. And, Tony, during your honeymoon, practice. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce our next guest, here is a word from our sponsor, the makers of those delicious Kraft Foods. And I want you particularly to notice this commercial tonight is kind of unique. All you'll see is our sponsor's product and a pair of hands. And that's the way Kraft has been advertising on television for 10 years. And please believe me, during all that time, they've sold over 800,000 pairs of hands. Watch this. Watch.
Well, right now, Milton, our famous hands are frosting cookies with delicious orange Philly frosting, the kind you make yourself with delicate, fresh-tasting Philadelphia brand cream cheese. We'll blend this 3-ounce package with a tablespoon of orange juice and a half teaspoon of grated orange rind. When it's all mixed, we'll simply blend in 3 cups of sifted confectioner sugar. And all Philly frostings are just that easy. Let's make another kind. Here we're blending melted chocolate with our Philadelphia brand cream cheese and confectioner sugar mixture to start fabulous Philly chocolate frosting. We used it on these Philly frosted cupcakes. Your folks will love all the good Philly frostings. And when you make them, remember, Kraft's Little Red K helps you pick the best cream cheese you can buy. Philadelphia brand. It tastes fresher and creamier and just plain better than the rest. Naturally, because Philadelphia brand cream cheese is made only by Kraft.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for another guest, but this time in the classical field. Remember the cultural exchange between our country and Soviet Russia last year? They sent us the Moiseev Ballet, and we sent them 3,000 hula hoops. The Russians made such a big hit with American audiences that I know you'll be thrilled by our next attraction, another brilliant troupe of wonderful Russian dancers. Let's give a warm American welcome to the world-famous Prudovskaya Ballet, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. My dear American friends, we are going to dance for you the story of Kachinka and Georgy, a very old Russian folk tale. In a certain village lived Kachinka, most beautiful daughter of peasant farmer. One day, Georgy, a Cossack, steals her away from farming. Kachinka's father and brothers chase after Georgy, and they have big fight with all the Cossacks. This is the most exciting part of the dance, the fight. Much leaping and jumping with swords and whips. The music is very fast and we are working very hard, dancing with every muscle in our bodies. It's a difficult number to do. And when we are finished with this dance, we are soaking with perspiration, wringing wet. We are going to the dressing rooms where you have marvelous invention, air conditioning here in America. We are lying down and the cold air is blowing over our hot-soaking bodies. We catch it cold, we go to the hospital, we come down with double pneumonia. The whole thing is a dirty capitalistic plot to kill Russians. And if you think we're going to fall for that, fooey on you, we don't dance!
Last time I'll ever buy an act from a gypsy who has an office in an empty store, I'll tell you that. What a waste. How do you like that? Opening show premiere with costumes and whips and all the expense? What a waste. It's about as big a waste as putting Bridget Bardot on radio. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised you dancing, and you're going to get it. Here are 3 American boys. When it comes to dancing, I think that they're the tops. They've worked with me many, many times in many nightclubs, and I'm sure they're going to dance because I haven't paid them yet for the club dates. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the sensational Dunhills. Walter. Artie. Bobby.
Holy mackerel, Andy.
Come on.
Milton Berle will be back in a minute. Meanwhile, our good Kraft cooks recall a mouth-watering summertime scene. Beautiful, red, ripe strawberries, fresh picked and ready for preserving by Kraft. Kraft uses a special cool cooking process that saves the real strawberry flavor and keeps the preserves fresh fruit good for you to use all year long. Here we're preparing a regal strawberry Philly pie using smooth Philadelphia brand cream cheese in our filling and luscious strawberries from a 12-ounce jar of Kraft pure strawberry preserves for our topping. We'll be glad to send you the complete recipe for this delightful and flavorful treat. Listen for the address later in the program. And now we've garnished our regal strawberry Philly pie with swirls of whipped cream for a dessert par excellence. This is just one way you can enjoy the fresh fruit goodness in all Kraft jellies and preserves. Use them to add flavor to favorite recipes or for taste-pleasing spreads on breads and rolls. Get Kraft jellies and preserves tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked to announce by the sponsor that this program will not be sent overseas to our boys in the armed forces. Instead, it'll be shot into space to a lonely mouse. I know you expect me to have a lot of guests for my next week's show, but Bob Hope's got them all on his Buick show this coming Tuesday, so I'd like to try to get some volunteers. Who would like to volunteer to be on my show? Anybody? This gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, Bat Masterson. Bat Masterson.
Fine. Berle, your time's up.
So soon?
You know, my new show goes on next.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't forget. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gene Barry, who portrays the role of Bat Masterson in one of the very thrilling series that makes its debut tonight following, about 200 spot announcements on your local station. So, Gene, may I wish you and your entire company lots of luck for the new season.
Thank you, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bat Masterson. I'd like to try to get some volunteers. This gentleman over here, would you what is your name, sir?
Jerry Wall.
Jerry Wall, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerry Wall. Jerry, for those that don't know, Jerry is the Academy Award-winning producer out at 20th Century Fox for the time being. And, Jerry, is that right?
Well, that's right. Milton, we have just finished a wonderful film at the studio called Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
It stars Pat Boone, Tommy Sands, Gary Crosby, Sherry North, and Christine Correa. And if you need any one of these people for your program next week, you have them.
Well, can you deliver Gary Crosby?
As long as we can get a plug for Mardi Gras, you have them.
You just got a plug. Sit down. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Do I hear anyone else? Yes. What is your name, young man?
Stan Fisher.
Stan Fisher. What do you do?
Well, I have a harmonica.
A harmonica? You're on next week, as long as you don't play. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to sincerely thank you very, very much for being such a very, very wonderful audience, and I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I'm
happy to appear on your show, Mr. Berle.
You will be happy to appear on my show?
Yes.
What do you do, sir?
I make short speeches, tell anecdotes, and give an impression of Raymond Massey.
Well, maybe they can use you on the Gillette commercials. They're booking celebrities this year. Ladies and gentlemen, as I was about to say thank you, I'll see you again next week, and thank you very much for making me feel much at home once again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
How long since you've enjoyed creamy, home-cooked macaroni and cheese? It's so easy with Kraft macaroni and cheese dinner, and only 5 cents a serving, too. In the box, you get tender macaroni and rich golden cheddar flavor that makes main dishes like this macaroni and cheese with Spanish sauce wonderful family pleasers. To get this recipe and recipes for other tasty main dishes, write Kraft Dinner Recipes, Box 1718, Chicago 77, Illinois. That's Box 1718, Chicago 77, Illinois.
Bob Hope appears with the courtesy of Buick. Tonight's cast included Lucy Colby and Dick Ryan. Next week, Milton Berle stars in the Kraft Music Hall with guests Gary Crosby and Stan Fisher. Stay tuned for Gene Barry as Bat Masterson. This is Ken Carpenter speaking.
Something done.
Watch The Ed Wynn Show tomorrow on NBC.